So do you look at teams' free throw success rate, what they're shooting from the free throw line when you're looking to make plays in February and March?
Sure, and Providence is okay in that area. They're top 150 in free throw percentage, 73%. So certainly not the best in the country, but not the worst. But here's the other part. Now you need to dig down to the next layer. Okay, that's their
Ooh.
team percentage, but now dig into the next layer and see who's taking the free throws. Because if you're a team that relies on your big guys getting hammered, I watched this with West Virginia the last couple of years when they had Oscar Sheboy and Derek Culver, guys that were getting clubbed inside, getting to the line, but Culver couldn't shoot free throws very well most nights. So the team percentage
Uh,
was down because your guys at the line were big guys. So just Providence real quick, and then we can move on to the next subject here. But the guy that shoots the most free throws for them by a wide margin, Al Durham, is a 6'4" guard. He's a shooter. He's one of the best shooters in the country from the line at 85%. He has 170 attempts. Their next closest guy is at 106, and then
whoa.
it really falls off the table. So for them, it's been two guys shooting it. The second guy I just mentioned, Nate Watson's a big guy. He's 6'10. He's just averaging 60% at the line. And
Damn.
he's a guy that he gets fouled a bunch. So one of
Mm.
their guys that shoots a bunch is a 6'10 guy. You would think there's going to be some variance. So is it Durham or Watson that gets to the line more often? And again, I didn't mean to take you all the way down in the weeds there, but those are a couple of the layers that you start to look at. And that's why I say you've got to take a team like Providence game by game when it gets in the tournament.
You got to take a team like Providence because sometimes there's magic. There's just magic in March. And I mean, think about Loyola Chicago and Sister Jean. They probably computer probably didn't like them either. All they did was win, and all they did was get to the Final Four. And believe me, people were caught up in it. People were dressing like Sister Jean coming to the book to bet them. Like it was nuts how that thing kind of got some momentum. So don't be afraid sometimes to ignore the analytics, ignore the computers, and just ride a hot wave and a hot team.
Well, thank
Just
you. Thank you.
times are hard.
Now we're still open for the Dunkin' Donuts sponsorship and the Providence Convention and Visitors Bureau. Thanks to you. They're going to be mad at me. I was just reporting the facts. You brought it back around. Still alive for sponsorship from the wonderful Greater Providence area. Wonderful seafood there in Providence. Thank you.
I mean, we got to keep it alive here. We got a lot of people listening and watching the show. Again,
They're
thank you.
15 to 1 to make the Final Four. You want it?
15 to 1 to make the Final Four. So these bets, I get asked that all the time too. How do you bet this thing now? I need to wait for the bracket. I need to see the path. I'm okay with building a portfolio. And I got guys, bad guys that have been building a portfolio. They'll have 10 teams to win it all. They have prices that don't exist. They have Auburn at 70 to 1. They have Texas Tech at 200 to 1. They're hoping to hit one. They're
Yeah.
hoping to get two in the Final Four. They're hoping to get four in the Sweet 16. So then they can work off of it. They don't have to win any of them. They just have working portfolios with big prices. They start firing darts. I remember when Obi Toppin was on what team in college?
Dayton. Dayton. That'd be the Flyers, Dave. The Flyers.
Thank you, sir. The Dayton Flyers, people were betting them in the summer at 250 to 1. I'm like, why are these guys betting the Dayton Flyers? Have no idea. Moved it down, moved it down, moved it down. The only thing that stopped the Dayton Flyers was COVID. That was when the tournament got canceled.
They were loaded that year.
Yeah, they were very loaded and they were doing a lot of things that maybe computers weren't understanding, but they had a good coach. They had Obi Toppin just came out of nowhere. And I kept saying, how do you say his name? I finally got it right when it came February. And then March stopped everything. So you may not be able to pronounce the names. You may not even know their actual nickname, the team nickname. If you don't, just tweet it, Brad, because he knows them all, apparently. But you can find all this out as you go. There's a lot of betting opportunities. You mentioned the West. We'll move on to hockey if you have any hockey next. But
Yes.
Arizona, UCLA have been playing games out west. Not a lot of people have been seeing them play. When they played head to head, UCLA won at home, Arizona won at home. Watch the Pac-12 tournament, which is held here in Vegas. I'm hopefully going to head down there, maybe take the Consig kids and go watch some basketball. But those West Coast teams, a lot of times they get seeded either too high. Arizona could be a 1 seed if they win this
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And go against, or a team like UCLA plays from the play-in game. They were the play-in game last year and got to the Final Four. Keep an eye on them going forward. I just wanted to mention that before we move on. What else you got?
Yeah, and they're two of the teams that we mentioned that fit the criteria on
Yes.
both. And listen, you know what UCLA is athletically. Arizona, man, they've got dudes.
Oh yeah,
They've got dudes. So it's just simply inexperience with them. Tommy Lloyd's their first-year head coach, done a great job. He'll be in the National Coach of the Year discussion. Came from Gonzaga, so yeah, they're certainly a team to watch as we move forward. The one last I'll mention, and we'll move on to hockey. We've got a couple more weeks to do this. Arkansas is intriguing. You talk about a team that's smoking hot right now. 14-1 to make the Final Four, have won 12 of 13. Eric Musselman doing a great job. He's got that team playing. They don't fit the national championship criteria, but a team that could wreak some havoc there come bracket time. So
good
Arkansas,
defense,
somebody to mention.
Good defense, offensively challenged, right?
That's it.
The kind of the mold for Arkansas.
Yep.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, click on another video right here on the screen. And if you really liked it, consider subscribing below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.